Let's go. Welcome back to another episode of 501 Tacos. I'm your host, Taco Artiste, history spiciest podcaster, and the best voice in podcasting, period. All that jazz. I tell the job 8 a.m. Monday, I'm yours. 501, it's taco time. Now, don't get it twisted. The kitchen's always open in case you want to get cooked, and I was cooking this weekend. But before we get into my perfect WrestleMania bingo card, I was right? I just really need to hear the viewers let me know. I was right because I picked every match right down the middle. Oh, and the headlines too with number 17, that John Cena guy. Right. But before all of that, got a couple quick shout outs. Shout out to Damo, of course. She liked, shared, and subscribed to my new YouTube page, Taco Artiste. Shared the most recent video. Always supportive, but I'm honestly just trying to be like my Capricorn twin. I do definitely appreciate you and all the hard moves you're making to keep me motivated. Shout out Rob Parker, my original mentor. He's got me in the business over 10 years ago now, or 13, something like that. And then my guy Wayne Bond, for both letting me know I'm still him, even though I've had quite a bit of a hiatus, but I'm right back to it. Shout out to Baby Sriracha just because he's up next, of course. And then speaking of bingo cards, shout out to Ghost. Everybody who knows me knows Ghost. That's my pup, my firstborn, my day one. My mini tyrant and menace all in one. My little chaos gremlin, all the good stuff. But shout out to him, especially because guess who did not have it on his bingo card that on a Monday, women are going to be walking up and initiating the conversation and the flirtation with me. I'm not used to that. I'm used to always taking the initiative, but I got to say, I appreciate me some confidence. Y'all know I love me some confidence. So I definitely appreciate these women. And because I'm in chemical imbalance with the confidence. They both go with me now. So, I mean, I think it's only right to reward them for, just being go-getters and just going hard and really showing me I'm him, even when I'm wearing sweatpants and wrinkle t-shirts to walk my pup. But again, let's get into this episode. Got the shout outs out the way. I'm gonna stitch all these together. I want to do it one take. You all have not seen the blooper reels that I've recorded so far, but I can explain why. Breaking them down in sections makes it so much easier, especially when you have to edit and you wake up at 3 a.m. to write your script. Because I definitely fell asleep on that main event, and we'll get to that in one moment. Be right back, folks. Let's go right back to it. All right. So brief pause, little intermission. But let's get right into it. Try to keep the air on the side of brevity. I'm gonna do a full WrestleMania review, but right now we gotta talk about that main event. Success is ugly. Anybody knows me know that's something I've been really huge on the last couple of years when I really decided to step it up in the professional world. But success is ugly. But The Rock involvement in John Cena WrestleMania main events remains uglier. For what it's worth, I did actually call this right down the middle. You can check the video on YouTube. It's also a reel on my Instagram, Taco Artiste. I damn near called the entire card perfectly, especially night 2. The only thing I didn't have was Joe Hendry, showing up, or John Hendry. I can't think of the guy's name. He's the TNA World Champion, so apologize for getting your name wrong if I did. But I didn't have him as Randy Orton's surprise opponent. It was to get Randy on the card. It was the RKO out of nowhere was funny, but otherwise, that match was kind of forgettable. Most of the second half of the card was pretty forgettable, to be honest. But I will include my me calling the Heyman Rollins swerve in this video or another video later. But there's a reason I don't include The Rock on my wrestling Mount Rushmore. If he would have, and I tried to explain Taker a bit. Taker is Taker. You can't knock The Undertaker for what he's done for the industry and the business. Character work is something he's very huge and intentional on. A lot of guys got their tips and tricks from him or Jake the Snake Roberts, or other guys like that. But I don't include Taker's specifically for my own taste. He's definitely in the top 5 or top 10 of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But for my own preference, he's not my Mount Rushmore. Ric Flair, HBK, my all-time favorite. CM Punk, my other all-time favorite. Number 4 is usually always up in the air, but I give it to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And speaking of Stone Cold, this is kind of why. I mean, let's look at night 2 last night, WrestleMania 41. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes up to do an audit of the fan attendance for night 2 and then the combined total for night 1 and night 2. He nearly kills a woman on his ATV riding in. I think he actually broke the ATV because he had to walk back. Either that or he was too drunk when he came out. I definitely think they gave him a breathalyzer, but it's Austin, so whatever. But he's entertaining the entire time. And he literally said he said that the numbers were bullshit. He was going to stop and count one by one. And he started counting the crowd. He said, I need you all to sit very still while I count. He counted up to 20. They said, all right, screw this. The total number said 63,000 combined, just like 124 or something. That was a more entertaining segment than the main event. The Rock hasn't even been seen since Elimination Chamber, but his shadow looms over this main event because that was the reason Cena said he knew he was going to win. Cody doesn't have what it takes to really do what's needed to finish, to close the deal, to take that next leg up, to really be the guy, to be more cutthroat, killer instinct, so to speak. And the reason The Rock is the issue with this is because I literally fell asleep on the match. I am not joking about that. I literally fell asleep and I woke up with Travis Scott's music played. Excuse me, I had to think about it. It was the song Fiend. It's probably my least favorite song on that Utopia album. It's almost a perfect album, but and The Rock sends out Travis Scott. And I mean, like, just doubling down on doubling down. He's ruining my favorite rapper for me. I love Travis Scott as an artist, as a performer. His music is like, I don't think he has a bad album. He doesn't need to be in a WWE ring. And if he is, he needs to do like Bad Bunny and really step up his acting chops, because all he does is come out, rolls up a joint, gave Cody a shiner. Cody got his looks back, his ones back, whatever. But all that to say, that was a huge waste of time for a match that was completely forgettable and a snooze fest to begin with. I don't know what the purpose of making Cena look so dominant against Cody was when he already said he knew he couldn't win in a wrestling match, and he's out wrestling Cody for the most part, at least for the majority of the match, from what I saw. Woke up to Travis Scott coming out to Fiend, and it was like the most bizarre, like, slapstick type entrance, and just it served no purpose. Cena lines up for to hit Cody with the title belt. Cody stops him. They kind of do a really bizarre tug of war. Cody gets it. Cena's not even like, he's like cowering, but it doesn't look legit. Cody can't, find him to pull the trigger, so he gets kicked in the balls again. He got kicked in the nuts again, just like Elimination Chamber. Cena slaps him upside the head with the title. 1, 2, 3. Once the referee gets back in. So here's where this leaves me. Yeah, I got it right. Right, I did call that. I literally did call the card pretty much right down the line. That is not a knock to Triple H and his creative or his team. It's just that I happen to realize the narratives. I've learned that a long time ago. Now, being objective and removing feelings and just sticking to the narrative formula, the facts, and where the money is. Follow the money, the headlines. I'm literally going to just add all of the headlines I've seen, since this morning on John Cena's victory. because it's number 17. He breaks Ric Flair's record. Ric Flair congratulates him. So that's part of the headline. Where and then it leaves you on a cliffhanger. What next? What now? Where does Cody go from there? He was the golden boy, the new face, or one of the guys being said to be the new face. Cody's a great performer. He's a great wrestler, great worker. That match, it I get the enormity of two guys from two different eras and this number 17 and everything. Cena didn't even look like he still can wrestle, and this was his first singles win in 7 years. Cena the match was slow paced. Just it was a snooze fest. And the reason I mentioned The Rock is because I think it was WrestleMania 27, Cena versus The Miz. It has to be among the absolute worst WrestleMania main events ever. It was like a 5 to 10 minute match, tops. There's a double DQ or something, a double count out. The Rock restarts the match or something. Rock bottoms Cena, The Miz gets the win. Sets up their match for next year. It was clunky. It was uninspired. The Miz is honestly, he deserved better than that because The Miz is a great worker. Literally really underappreciated, but overall, The Rock's involvement in WWE to me has, since coming back again as the final boss, he has his moments, but The Rock, he's a B-list movie star for a reason. And The Rock, he's done his thing, he's made his billion, he's really grinded from the ground up, especially when he got cut from the Canadian Football League or something. But overall, The Rock's involvement with the E, especially coming back as this corporate jackass, for lack of a better word. I mean, his promos, I realized last year during WrestleMania season, he can't cut a promo. Like, he says a lot of repetitive, childish, juvenile, 1990s, I can't even call them zingers, just trash talk, suck the herpes off your lip, or is your trailer park trash? I mean, yeah, dude, we laughed at that in like 1999. All right, like, come up with something more original. And I think I mentioned this before. He just really just trumps it up a lot with his verbiage and his cadence and everything. But he's just not entertaining. I don't find The Rock entertaining at this point. I damn sure I'm not watching a Fast and Furious movie. I haven't. I don't remember the last time. I don't remember the last time I watched one of those. But pretty much any movie he's in, it's very low quality in acting chops and things of that nature. It's just it's an action movie, and I get it. He's The Rock. He's a wrestler. He did break down the barrier and the wall for others to follow in his footsteps, but he's not. He's not in my Mount Rushmore for that reason. I don't think he honestly. It'd be hard to keep him off the top 10, but I can think of other guys I would put above him before I got to Rocky. That's not to say his original run in WWE was not fire. But right now, he's more of an anchor when he's involved in storylines. And I'm going to avoid using the real Satan himself, who was the former chairman of the company. But you believed his shtick more. For whatever, if you believe he was bleeding in real life with that, but we don't have to jump into that. The Rock as the final boss is literally just a really, really, he's a walking F-bomb. He says or does whatever. It doesn't even come off as mildly entertaining. He makes sporadic appearances, makes really cryptic gestures every now and then. I don't know what the payoff for half of those were. Um, but yeah, so that main event, even though I did call it, I almost didn't feel actually. I actually almost didn't feel good about calling that that uh, result, that win, whatever. The match never clicked. Like it never really happened. That's like literally it. Like the back-to-back triple threats to end night one and to begin night two with Io Sky retaining over Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, which I called. Called both of those results. I felt good about those. And I just said CM Punk is in my Mount Rushmore. I have a graphic that you're going to see with this episode when you watch it, if you haven't already paid attention. CM Punk is in the ring heartbroken because he's main event at WrestleMania and got betrayed. He got hit in the nuts too. So there's that. But there was a payoff for it. And it ultimately, honestly, I think Rollins and Heyman swerve and their, alliance is much more, uh, uh, is much more something I can sink my teeth into and is entertaining and engaging than Cena's 17. I really don't care about Cena's farewell tour. He's not the GOAT. As you see, he's not on my Mount Rushmore. He's one of those fabricated GOATs or fabricated faces of a generation that we were force-fed. Same with LeBron, Tom Brady, Sidney Crosby, Floyd. Floyd actually can box. He's just a very boring boxer. Like literally, he's just highly technical and defensive. But long story short, UFC can't seem to keep a face long enough for me to even pick a name out of there. But that generation of stars, GOATs, faces of companies, just they were all fabricated and force fed. You can debate me if you want to. It's fine. It's subjective at the end of the day. But I say LeBron is not top five, and he's not. He's not a top five talent all time. LeBron should have retired after number 16. Or excuse me, not number 16, 2016 championship. Go off after you did what you said you had to do. He wanted to play with his son, retire and stay home. Help the boy actually be ready to play in the NBA and not be in your shadow directly. Tom Brady has like 6 asterisks next to his 7 championships. Deflate gate, and I'm all about, winning, however you need to. But end of the day, it's just, you have asterisks that people have concerns about, and Patty Mahomes did it faster. Same with Steph Curry and LeBron. Steph did 4 and 7. For 4 championships in 7 years. He has the same amount of championships as LeBron James. In a faster time frame and a better finals record. Better dynasty. One dynasty has a better single dynasty than LeBron has among 3. Let me see. Who did I mention? Sidney Crosby. There was a thing, Crybaby Crosby. I didn't honestly pay too much attention to him. Tom Brady, Floyd, I already touched on. So Cena's not the GOAT. 17 just felt like it was a lifetime achievement award just to finally break the record. It wasn't going to be Triple H. He actively retired because of his cardiac event. He should be on my Mount Rushmore, but his impact on the WWE post full-time career has been a huge boon, almost better than his active career. That's not to knock what he did. His body worked solid. So this, I predicted that card top to bottom, even the Logan Paul match. But around after the fatal 4-way, I think I just kind of lost interest. And then the main event put me to sleep. I did wake up. I mean, I was up when Liv Morgan came out. She could rock me into oblivion any day of the week. Now, Daddy's always on top. Papa's always on top, but Liv Morgan definitely got me up that space for sure. We go together. Not like she go with me. We go together. It's my emergency contact. That's how I'm proposing to her. Will you be my emergency contact? But just to kind of wrap things up, I almost want to go back to not watching wrestling and just being casual because night 2 happened. Cena got the record. I called it, and I surprisingly actually don't feel good about it. But hey, Ghost is gonna need to go for another walk soon, and we might go 3 for 3 with women that go with me. So again, thank you all for listening to the Best Voice in Podcast. And make sure you like, drop 5 stars on us, subscribe, share, leave some comments. I will try to remember to add a poll to this video. Honestly, Spotify's functionality is so weird at this point, but leave your comments. Let me know what you think about John Cena's win or WrestleMania 41 in general. If you want to talk GOATs, we could do that. Hopefully, I will have some more guests. My call should be back this week or so. And so, yeah, thanks again. Kitchen's always open, so you want to cook with me? Let's do it. All right. Later, Space Cowboys. We can't. This is going to bloopers. He can't stop the video.